Nothing purposefully, like, you know, I really try to ignore anything like, oh, is he a good guy, is he a bad guy? I just try to identify with what their character's going through and play it as honestly as I possibly can. I think what's exciting about television is you can be, especially television delivered in the format that Netflix delivers it, where you're getting all the episodes at once, you can be bold enough to completely abandon the audience. And this is my goal. It was my goal when I did Shane. It was my goal when I was doing this. I wanted to not perform in half measures, in saying, okay, I'm doing something bad, but it's not so bad. We don't want to lose the audience now. Fuck that. I think that's so weak and cowardly. I think the goal is to absolutely abandon the audience, absolutely go 100% in one direction, and be confident enough that you'll win them back 2-3 episodes down the road. And the fact that they don't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks for that episode is available to them right there, means, I think, gives you the freedom to go even further in that direction. And so you commit fully to what you're doing, and to abandon any notion of likability or you know, accessibility. I think it's an enemy to creating real characters, I think, you know, and it was a fight for me. I fought the whole season for those kinds of things, and because look, it's an iconic character that Marvel, you know, they take very seriously. They want it delivered in a very certain way, and I just constantly sort of argued and fought for him to be full out at all times. Tremendously nervous. You know that that you know, people are gonna hate it, or people are gonna, you know, I'm always, yeah, I'm mortified, you know, but I'm always scared of that. For me, it's not, you know, whether they like it or not. You know, I don't know, but it's, you know, they believe it, they buy it, if they empathize, if it moves people, you know, that's tremendously important to me. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think the crux of his dilemma, and it's taken right from the comics, is, you know, he's a soldier who went and fought for his country, saw unbelievable horrors while he was at war, but he was over there and he killed and risked his life for his country. He comes back and his family's brutally murdered. And now he's on this killing spree, and he's on this singular mission that he has sort of justified in his own mind, that these people took his family, so now he's gonna go forward and he's gonna kill every single one of these people as brutally as possible. This is his mission. I think the crux of his main dilemma is he is not a man without remorse. He is not a man without guilt. He is not a man without shame. He is a man. So he's constantly asking himself, is this the real me? Am I really doing this because my family is dead? Or am I doing this because I'm most comfortable killing? Is this an addiction? Is this an itch that I need scratching? And this is a level of sort of self-revelation and self-hatred and self-loathing that totally comes out from the comics. You know, in the comics, it's delivered in soliloquy all the time, you know, Frank Castle, and he's constantly asking himself these questions, and it's constantly coming from a place of real disgust for himself and disgust with his actions, and a complete real, you know, it's fully realized that his nightmare will never end. There's no end. There's no, it's a nightmare until death, you know, and it's just go forward. And the only temporary relief he has is killing people. So it's pretty dark stuff, you know, but I love that. I love that the dilemma is there. I love that, you know, I love that there's this constant battle saying, oh, I'm doing this because my family, and I'm justified, I need to do this, but oh my God, you know, am I actually just an evil son of a bitch, you know, which is it? And it's this constant struggle, and I think that's what makes him human in this really heightened world, you know. So that's what's most interesting to me. It was one of these scenes, which I hate. I mean, I love the writer. I'm doing another one of his movies later this year. But, you know, I don't like in scenes when it's written at the top of the scene, so-and-so is crying, you know, to start the scene. So they started the scene, and Josh Brolin and Benicio, it was supposed to be me crying and begging for my life. And so one time we started, and I just sat there, and they were like, you gonna cry? And so I said, well, why don't you make me cry? And I started calling him this and this. Why don't you think you can make me cry? And started challenging them. And I yelled at Benicio, come on, you're really trying to get something going. And then he stuck his finger in my ear, and then I just, you know, I played like it was killing me, and that's how the scene started, you know. So that's what it came out of. Yeah, I was really excited when I heard they used that take, you know, because I thought it was a cool move. He's the best. I mean, look, I was saying in the other thing, ever since Wolf of Wall Street, I completely sort of changed the way I work, and I think the only way to create real danger on a set is to slay anything that's predictable and do it differently every time, and to try to change it up and scare your fellow actors and make them not know what you're going to do. That's the only way you can really make it dangerous, short of actually hurting people. So I believe that, you know, you know, on camera, it's only good if it's dangerous. It's only good if it's unpredictable, and you have to be really careful to not let it get stale. So I improvise a lot, and it's raw. It's tough with television because there's a committee, and a lot of times you sort of have to clear things. But you know, as you get more and more comfortable with each other, and everybody, you know, the respect grows. You know, it's tough because I was a new guy coming on a new show. You can't come on and just you know start changing it up. They'll be like, get him out of here, you know. So you have to pick and choose your times, and sometimes you have to call and suggest. But you know, by the end of our time together, you know, we really had a shorthand with each other, and it got to the point, you want to try something, go try it, have fun, enjoy, go, you know, and yeah, I think there's quite a bit of that. You know, look, I think we're successful if people are asking these questions. I think that's the goal of you know, any good art, if it makes the audience look at society and ask questions. I don't think our job is to answer those questions. I think our job is to make people ask them, and if we're making them ask them, then we're doing our job, but I'm not going to try to answer them, you know. You know, just appreciate every second. Don't waste your time. Could go any time it can go. You know, hug your babies. You know, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think they're incredibly alike, and I think when they first meet, you know, it's interesting that they're introduced in such an adversarial way. And I think, you know, if Daredevil and his methods are right, that means Frank is wrong. If Frank is right, that means Daredevil is wrong. And I think what they discover is they discover a real familiarity with each other, and a real sense of they admire each other, and a deep respect by the end of the season. No, I have the exact same kind of dog, but it's funny because when I first met the writers for the first time, I met them with I take my dogs everywhere, you know, every audition, everything, and but they had already written that. I asked them, I said, you guys, you know, you could use my dog, you know, my dog's better trained than the dog that they use, but no, they always had that in mind. It was, look, it wasn't a huge role, it wasn't, you know, but yeah, it changed everything for me, you know, everything I did in that movie. I do not say a single line that was written in the script. Everything was improvised, and you know, what Marty does is he creates such an unbelievable fertile field for creativity. He makes everybody feel 1,000 feet tall and that they can do no wrong. He employs everyone on that crew, every extra, every person on that crew is so damn good at what they do, and everyone, you become so bold that everybody tries everything, and they push, and it's never the same, and it's always electric, it's always different, it's always dangerous, it's always alive, and he really encourages you to know it so well that you completely let it go and make it real and improvised and throw the script away, and you can see it's palpable in his movies, I've always liked to work that way, but you know, once you work with Marty, it's like that gives you permission to work that way, because it's like you've been to the mountaintop, you know, and you know how these guys do it, and so yeah, I that's the way I like to work, you know, if I'm allowed, you know.